There were more than 400 cities across the country that were ranked for their growth over the last 5 years, and one city just down the road from San Antonio came in at number 2. It wasn't Austin, it wasn't Dallas, and it wasn't Houston. This town that came in at number 2 on this list in the entire country was New Braunfels, Texas. There are some very interesting reasons why it ranks so high, and especially if you're looking at moving to this area, you really need to pay attention to these things. We're also going to talk about how the growth of New Braunfels itself is impacting the areas around it. We also need to talk about some of the red flags that come with moving to one of the fastest growing boom towns in the country. One of the things that it's important to note about New Braunfels is that it really is a tourist town, and it's kind of an area that historically people have moved to and commuted to either Austin, San Marcos even, with the college being over there, or to San Antonio. Lots of military living in New Braunfels, commuting into Fort Sam or to Randolph Air Force Base. Just not as many people that typically move to New Braunfels and work in New Braunfels, and that was one of the things that really caught my attention about this survey. Smart Asset conducted a survey of over 400 cities in the country with at least 65,000 people. They then compared 5 years of housing growth, labor growth, and economic growth. This survey literally came in last month and ranked New Braunfels as the number 2 boomtown in all of the United States. Housing grew by 40%, the economy grew by 6.8%, and the most shocking factor to me was actually the labor growth was around 30%. In fact, the vast majority of the cities on this list were from Texas. In fact, 8 of the top 11 cities were from Texas specifically. And so the only city that was ranked ahead of New Braunfels was Georgetown up on that north side of Austin. Austin came in at 37, and neither Dallas nor San Antonio nor Houston actually made the top 75. But what I've really noticed about this growing trend of New Braunfels and how it is truly a boom town is the impact that it has had on the areas immediately around this town. New Braunfels isn't growing by itself, it's bringing up everything else around it. And we'll definitely get into that here in just a little bit on this video. So having lived in the San Antonio area and New Braunfels area for my entire life, I have come to absolutely love helping people just like you who are relocating to the San Antonio area make this their home, right? I started the Life in SATX home group. My name is Michael McCall, and we are a small group of individuals that truly love helping people just like you. And we help people just like you. We get phone calls from people just like you literally every day who are looking at moving here and just wanting to know more information about the area before they make the jump. So whether you are looking at moving here in 2 days or 2 years, call, text, email us anytime, days, nights, or weekends. We are here to be of assistance with you guys. So again, all the information is down in the description below. Reach out to us at any time. I've mentioned this a couple times. That area around New Braunfels is exploding because of the growth of New Braunfels, quite frankly. And I've talked about it a lot on this channel, and we've talked about several different things that are occurring, right? We're talked about the Austin San Antonio Metroplex and how this whole area between Austin and San Antonio has 5 million people, and the expectations for this area over the next couple decades is just outlandish and extreme. And the area specifically in the middle is right there in New Braunfels, and that is why New Braunfels is growing so much, and why one of these, why a lot of these statisticians has said that the Austin San Antonio area is going to grow so much, in large part because of New Braunfels. That 40% growth number on housing is no accident. There are new neighborhoods popping up everywhere, and some of the best neighborhoods in our Metroplex are going up in New Braunfels. When you look at places like Mayfair, for example, or Baramendi, those are 2 of the most popular neighborhoods with some of the best builders, with some of the best amenities that you can find in this entire Central Texas area. You've got new jobs popping up. You've got new employers creating, very, very large scale employment opportunities in this area as well. And it's just simply due to the fact that I-35 running between Austin and San Antonio is a huge corridor that connects literally millions of people and provides so many opportunities for jobs and for employers to have easy access to a high quality workforce. But that is a massive reason to pay attention to things, because New Braunfels' growth is going to put a big stress on the infrastructure, and it definitely has. I mean, anybody that knows New Braunfels and has been in and around New Braunfels, myself included, has seen the traffic expand, right? You go in through town and it takes forever to get across town, especially in some of the really tightly knit, congested areas where there's a lot of people and fewer roads. I mean, New Braunfels has roughly 120,000 people or so as of the recording of this video, and between 2020 and 2025, there was 40,000 people that moved in. So it is exploding, to say the least. But who's to say that you have to live right in the middle of the hot spot that is New Braunfels to be able to take advantage of everything that New Braunfels has to offer? There are many other opportunities to be close to New Braunfels without being in maybe the busy, congested city that it currently is. Some people are going to want that. If you look at the immediate areas surrounding, think of Bulverde, okay, up on that north side. It's a very rural community, also blowing up and growing quite a bit as well, just especially being in that kind of central location between San Antonio and New Braunfels. But there's some good neighborhoods, some more affordable neighborhoods in that $300,000 price point, but also some very nice high-end acreage communities with 1 acre lots, golf courses. The Guadalupe River runs through there, and just overall is just a very beautiful hill country town and is known as the front porch of the Texas Hill Country. On top of that, if you go west into San Antonio, you're going to hit Church Cibolo. That whole area on that northeast corner of San Antonio is a very popular military area, and there are some very affordable new construction communities in that kind of Church Cibolo area, and also right there on the highway too. And I think the area that is being brought up the most by New Braunfels' growth is Seguin. That area is, again, flat out exploding. It used to be just flat farmland, very quiet, couple neighborhoods here and there, especially since Guadalupe River runs south from New Braunfels down into Seguin. You have Lake Placid, you've got Lake Dunlap up in New Braunfels, Lake McQueenie as well. And so you've got more of the water sport, recreational rivers and lakes that are available for waterfront properties. But the fact of the matter is that Seguin has always been very, very affordable compared to New Braunfels. And so a lot of people that maybe can't afford the prices that New Braunfels has because of the extreme growth. I mean, in fact, over the last 24 months, there's been almost 6,000 homes sell in New Braunfels. And Seguin itself is a much more affordable option than what you find in New Braunfels. So a lot of people will go just 10 to 15 minutes south to be able to live in a more affordable town, get a new construction house, get maybe a bigger house for a lower price, and be able to just take an easy drive and do all the stuff that they need to do up in New Braunfels. Because Seguin, while it is growing quite a bit and is in line, in my opinion, to be what New Braunfels was maybe 20, 30 years ago, right? Historically, it's always been 20 to 30,000 people, but it's getting into that 35, 40,000 people with tons of housing being built in it and lots of entertainment, lots of new restaurants popping up. The downtown's getting revitalized quite a bit. So Seguin is an area to pay attention to, especially if you're looking at being close to New Braunfels, but maybe just want to be in a town that's maybe a little bit less crazy, if you will, as New Braunfels, or at least less busy, we'll say. Now let's talk about what I would recommend if you guys are relocating to this area and you are considering New Braunfels and maybe are wanting to look at some of these areas on the outer edges of New Braunfels or just with easy access to get into New Braunfels. If you are coming here, it is a very simple process to be able to come, stay in New Braunfels, get your hotel or an Airbnb in downtown New Braunfels, and just explore that area that you're going to be spending the most time in. Decide what your lifestyle wants to be like. Are you going to be spending more time in the hill country up in Canyon Lake? Are you going to be traveling more? Do you need space for an RV? Do you want to be within walking distance or within maybe an Uber's ride from downtown New Braunfels or from Green? Or are you going to spend more time on the river? Do you want to be closer to the parks? I mean, think about all those different things and decide, okay, does this allow us to look on some of these outer edges of New Braunfels, on some of these towns that are kind of surrounding New Braunfels, to be able to get into easy access for everything that we need to do. And then from there, go around and drive Seguin, go drive through Church Cibolo, go drive through Bulverde, go all the way as far as Bernie if you need to. I mean, you're talking 45 minutes or so from New Braunfels, so you're definitely a ways from there. Look at these areas, drive through, explore them, see what you think of the surroundings, and then before you do that, reach out to us and we can kind of talk through a game plan as far as, all right, whether or not you need to do an exploration mission, or if you're going to come here ready to buy because you're relocating for work and you're ready to go, we can talk through the steps and kind of what is needed from you guys as far as making that move, and talk through our experiences with our past clients of how they've done it and what's worked best for them, just to give you guys the best knowledge from people that, again, deal with people in your situation every single day and love doing it. Another big reason that you need to come visit this area is to see some of the maybe issues that come with a town that is growing this fast. And big one, of course, is the traffic and the development. I mentioned it a minute ago already, but one of the big problems with New Braunfels is the traffic, okay? And it's, okay, you can be in some of these neighborhoods, you can be in some of these outstanding neighborhoods where you don't have to really go anywhere to get anything. You can go eat in the neighborhood, kids go to school in the neighborhood, you can go right outside the gates of the neighborhood and you can see and go to the grocery stores. Like, there's not a whole lot of leaving that you have to do, but if you do need to commute into San Antonio or Austin, you have to know Interstate 35 that runs through New Braunfels is one of the worst highways, in my opinion, in our area as far as driving goes. It gets backed up all the time. It's always under construction, and there's always something just to complain about with it, quite frankly. New Braunfels is updating its transportation plan, so they're working on things to make this a more feasible option for people that are commuting into San Antonio or into Austin, so that it's easier to get through some of these more congested areas within the town itself. But the highways are still going to be a problem with as many people as are moving here. And especially as more and more people decide to stay away from the big cities and move into these more suburb towns like New Braunfels. There are major road projects planned between New Braunfels and Seguin. There's lots of stuff going on at I-35 and 1604 in San Antonio that will make for a much easier commute once that is complete. But until then, you need to know that getting into San Antonio from New Braunfels is going to take about 20-25 minutes. That's just to get to the edge of town, and then get into downtown, you're looking at a minimum of probably about 40-45 minutes. And with rush hour and wrecks and any construction backup that can happen, of course, that can add on to time. Now, going into Randolph Air Force Base there in Universal City Shirts area, like that is going to be a much easier commute because it's not going all the way into the heart of the main traffic in San Antonio. But 35, again, as you're getting into the city, is always going to be backed up and have a lot of people on it. So let's get to the kicker, and that is my advice if you are planning on moving here, and where I recommend you buy and where I recommend that you look at. As far as if you're considering New Braunfels specifically, if you're commuting into San Antonio or Austin, you need to be closer to the highways. Outside of that, you're going to be adding 10-15 minutes onto your commute just to get to the highway itself. If you are looking at amenities, New Braunfels has some of the best amenities when it comes to new construction neighborhoods. And even if you're looking at existing homes, the amenities of New Braunfels itself are outstanding. And if you're really wanting to be price conscious, New Braunfels has some very affordable homes, but Seguin is the area just south of New Braunfels. With being right off of I-10, it's easy to get, relatively easy to get into San Antonio from there as well. And you're still a very easy drive to get into New Braunfels for all the amenities that it has. But I mean, it's not only that. If you're looking at waterfront properties, Seguin and New Braunfels both are honestly the kings of the area whenever it comes to the best options for waterfront properties. And those are things that we can kind of talk through if that's something you're looking for. Each and every person is different. My advice is to, kind of hone in on what you're really looking for. Have a conversation with us. We can kind of guide you in the right direction for what is best for your specific situation. And again, our information is down below in the description so that you can always contact us. And again, don't feel like you're bothering us or we're too busy. We have people that can connect with you guys and will take great care of you. Okay, that's our goal here at the Life and SATX Home Group, is to make sure that whatever your needs are, we adapt what we are doing to fit your needs. So reach out to us, whether you're moving here in 2 days or 2 years, guys, like I've mentioned many times on this channel. And if you are considering new construction, but you're thinking about resales as well, take a look at this video right here, because this is one where I kind of break down the differences between the two and what you really need to know before you make that decision.